Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Dropping it. Today we talking about the graveyards that coons end up in when they play assimilation politics. This is a continuation of my assimilation politics video. But we look at the shit that the older coons is doing out here in the world today. So when we look at these MAGA coons, these, a population of our African brothers and sisters that play assimilation politics like it's a benefit. If y'all out there listening, let me show y'all some of the graveyards you will end up in playing these kind of games with this anti-black regime that we live in. I talked about how our response to this regime is the most important undertaking and the most important focus that this channel centers around. So I want to clue y'all in on it. If y'all out there listening, you coon motherfuckers, those that's not cooning, just sit back. Hear what I'm getting at. We're going to do a quick roll call of the debris that gets left over after the weak amongst black society sell out and coon and assimilate to white supremacist narratives, white supremacist train of thought, white supremacist ideology, white supremacist ebb and flow out in this bitch. Let's do a roll call. Let's start from the top. I picked out a few coons I think that y'all all know. First, we're going to look at Coon-marosa Manigault. She's landed at a place in her coon career where you motherfuckers can end up in. Alright, she faked like she was some spook that sat by the door in the White House, but she wasn't that. She was just there to kiss ass for how long the ass kissing ride would last, acting like she really gave a damn, but she knew she was just scheming and slutting her way to the top, scavenging her way through that white supremacist White House we got, trying to finagle it for however long she could keep it going, right? And now she's at the graveyard of pushing a book that don't nobody want. She on her last leg. I don't know how she gonna make money now. She ain't gonna be able to ball like she used to. We got a lot of older guys that are fomenting up coon revolutionary thought, if you could say that. Now, a lot of these guys I'm about to list, these guys are old black guys and they about to die. I just put it out there. So as we got an old black media that's finna die or has been dead or whatever, right next to that we got the old coon theologians, goddammit, and they trying to mobilize their last bit of coonery out of the youth before they die. We know about Jesse Lee Peterson. He about to die, you know what I'm saying? And so he tries to, mobilize who he can, but he's too easy of a target. Let's talk about some other motherfuckers that y'all probably forgot about, all right? Y'all got Shelby Steele. He's the guy that's always talks about, hey, racism doesn't exist. And black power is really about manipulating white guilt in the pursuit of collective black innocence. Right? Talking all that shit, right? Well, alright, but you finna die. Your message is finna die off. You can't tell people that black empowerment is about looking at white people when we're talking about our response to everybody. It ain't just about manipulating white guilt, you dumbass. It's about us getting on our feet and getting ourselves situated properly. It ain't about nobody else but us. And this collective black innocence, like, come on, man. We have the moral credit in the universe, but you're gonna try to play dumb. So all you coons that listen to Shelby Steele, just recognize that shit, all right? He talks that shit like, oh, racism has declining significance. No, bitch, it's just you finna die and you want it to be like that, but it ain't like that, and you just wanna try to put up these mental blinders to it. Just shut up. You know what I mean? Oh, motherfucking Coon-ry Elder. You can end up in his graveyard. He was on Twitter talking about the Central Park 5 is guilty. They still guilty, despite DNA evidence. This is 2018, and you got a coon like Coon-ry Elder talking about despite DNA, they still guilty. And an admission from Matias Reyes. That's the Latino dude that did the raping. And Trump believes they're guilty, right? Trump's still talking about they guilty. So as a coon, y'all stuck defending Trump at wherever he go, wherever he shit at. Y'all stuck wiping his ass wherever he lay his shit at and take a dump at. So be prepared to wipe his ass on this one too. You dumb motherfuckers, but oh well, oh well. Understand this, you coons. Y'all have to go against DNA evidence into the future. Don't forget that. I'm saying, who else? Walter E. Wiliams. He another old ass coon, you know what I mean? He say shit like, scarcity makes us choose whether or not we want to discriminate against somebody or not. Scarcity is the cause of discrimination, which is bullshit. Being a piece of shit in the world is the cause of discrimination. Being evil is the cause of discrimination. He want to give white supremacist society so many outs. So this is what y'all required to do. Y'all required to say stupid shit like this, you young coons. Just know, all right? What's another graveyard y'all gonna end up in? Ward Coon-erly. He's the guy that founded the Racial Privacy Act, or he's trying to pass this Racial Privacy Act, trying to get racial classifications to be removed off of the census, talking about race is not based in anthropology, biology, or culture, so we should eliminate it from the census. Which is untrue. We already know melanin determines how well you can hear, how well you can see, how well you can smell, whether you can live under natural sunlight. To say that race or your melanin content doesn't have a basis in anthropology or biology, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. So as a coon, you gotta agree with what he's talking about. Important part about it is to take race off the census, goddamn. Census data determines how districts are drawn, federal funds are allocated, how they enforce civil rights laws and shit. So he's a fuck up. This guy, he's getting some pushback. He's a fuck up. So as a assimilation politics aficionado, you have to agree with getting your district redrawn by politicians you don't financially undergird through lobbyism. You have to agree to federal funds being allocated to wherever a white supremacist vacuum wants them to go at their leisure. Basically, you have to agree to being managed like a prostitute, being subservient to the whims of another motherfucker, a willful slave. Fucking jokers, you know what I mean? Man, who else got to think of, man? Ben Carson, you know, he's the motherfucker that says slaves are immigrants. Y'all gotta agree with all this bullshit for a 1 to 2 year come up in your coon career. They treating y'all coons like one hit wonders. These motherfuckers, they end up in the graveyard quick when they approach black society with that shit these days. The information age makes information flow fast, and once we hear Coon-ry, we jumping on it. Everybody jumping on it. Everybody jumping on it. From social media to wherever. Then you get motherfuckers like me that got, you know, a channel, a platform, a couple of channels, couple of platforms, and I'm gonna really lay a death blow in your ass. I'm gonna really lay it down. So that's just what it is. I just wanted to say that, you know, in a white supremacist society, no matter how you take a seat at the table, whether you sit at the table with your asshole open, bent over, whatever, it don't matter. They see your blackness before they see your cooning, before they see your ass sucking, before they see your assimilation politics, before they see your hand in helping your oppression and your people's oppression. Your people still doing worse in ways compared to other groups who coon. And that's by design. You're not covering ground. Your predecessor assimilators aren't covering ground. These elder coons, right? These middle-aged coons. They struggling to get a damn book sold in this hole. So what does it pay y'all stupid asses for real? Cause look, just in the last week with these midterms, we proved that being used to quell white people's fears about black people finally clicking up and wielding our unity as our hand of power is not gonna get you no snaps. You know what I mean? It's like fat ass Roland Martin. He played by white supremacist terrorist rules his whole life. Since college, he got his degree, got his little assimilating ass narrative he tried to beat his audience over the head with. Got down with his little Greek fraternity and all that little shit. He danced with Hillary and all this shit. But sitting up just calming white people down to where they don't feel like their sound sleep is being disturbed by black people that's on some forward progress about blackness and about embracing only our forward progress momentums in black society and only looking out for us, that shit is not honorable. Look at that boy. Look at the boy rolling. You know what I mean? That shit is not honorable. And we not gonna tolerate in our society, in our black society, anybody thinking they can just come back around like it's all cool after they've indulged in the coon nip. They fell for the coon nectar that white society lured they dumb ass with. So no, we not doing that shit. So, like I said, man, you weak-willed assimilation type coons, y'all are afraid of our success just like your massa is. It's economically, politically, and socially. And I always say socially, I think we pretty much got that shit almost in the bag. As far as a social narrative, all other groups come to black people for the humane pulse of the world. You know what I mean? To have a finger on the pulse of humanness and common sense. Because we the group that has the largest group of people. And y'all can take this as an advantage, black people. We are the group that has the largest group of people that are woke. No other group has a larger woke population, period. And we predominantly operate from a humane template that all other templates eventually have to meet and collide with. Everybody else is just on some wild feral pig status, feral rhesus monkey status out here until they crash into something and then they come to us, right? All these other groups, they running around lacking the human compass that has the sensitivity that ours has due to the lack of melanin, but that's another conversation. You can look at some of my other videos on interracial dating to get the scoop on that. But you assimilation politics playing fools, y'all gonna learn about overlooking y'all's trajectory of the shit. They got you feeling bad about being black and not voting and about not adopting mainstream narratives because, like I said, how they vilify who they want to victimize, like on some Nazi regime shit. So a part of you feeling bad about blackness, you feeling down on the small window of history about blackness that they give you. They tell you were slaves and now you're in ghettos and it happened not by white design, you Negro. So pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you Negro. If they can make you believe that, that means their vilifying worked. So now all they gotta do is victimize you some kind of way all over again. They make you spineless, go along to get along, black people. Put it on black people as to the white reasoning for oppression that white people put into motion. Period. You made white daddy enslave you, believing ass coons out here. They convincing your yellow-bellied ass put it on black people as to why white people couldn't build a country using only white physical labor. Huh? Put it on black people as to why white people couldn't create a global economy without using the backs of black people, which they've never been able to do since they came on Earth. They've never been able to build anything without our presence, period. Whether they're collaborating with sellout black people to get some slaves or some shit, or whether they just find a small population of black people to disproportionately outnumber and then force them to do it type shit. They've never been able to build shit without us. They on some put it on black people that white people gave land grants to whatever white person raised their motherfucking hand after the Civil War. They gonna pull out a coon like Walter E. Wiliams to influence you assimilate Negroes, who gonna tell you that discrimination is based in scarcity when 40 acres and a mule was more than available at the time, before white people just up and decided, we just can't do right by black people. We don't feel right doing right. We can't give y'all that shit. They're gonna have you assimilation politics types believing to put it on black people as to why white people bombed Greensboro. They're gonna pull out they geriatric hoe ass motherfuckers like Jared Taylor, who gonna tell you it's your low IQ as to why white people bombed financially successful black towns that they were jealous of. This is the process that they go through in coon making, in assimilation politics playing, weak bone Negro making. And it's tripped up who is done tripped up. And it hasn't tripped up those of us that it hasn't tripped up. Be proud of you on my channel, black people. You have seen through the bullshit. You are finding your way to being a part of propping up a pro-black empowerment infrastructure amongst black society. Fuck them stupid ass coons. Y'all didn't get tripped up if you on my channel. We doing it out here. convincing black people that we're less than and ain't worth nothing. It's a pattern that white supremacist terrorist society depends on to build coons, and we should always swat them down and any coon down in the progress whenever we get a free hand. That's why I do my videos shitting on you coons as well. White supremacist society don't introduce villain making out of a group and making a group look bad by way of propaganda and television shows and television commercials, and always painting a narrative of suspicion about a black person when an unarmed black person get killed by a race soldier. Celebrity takedown cases when they run our celebrities through the crooked courts to make black poster childs for fuckery while white folk get slaps on the wrist, white men, women, and children escape off GP and get slaps on the wrist, etc. They don't go through creating any of that shit unless they want to introduce victim making out of a group. And y'all have basically, as coons, y'all have fallen to this dual setting wash cycle that white supremacy got going. It's a wash cycle that got two settings with white supremacy. Since we got here, they're about making black people villains, which makes it easier to victimize them publicly and get public consensus for their victimization. So you victimize them more and more and more and then repeat, rinse and repeat. Like I said, it's a Nazi tactic. If y'all didn't know this, just look at the genetic outlay of most Caucasians in America. If you just look at genes, German Americans are the largest group of white people in America. So what kind of cultural hum and flow do you think that they're genetically wired to keep up around this bitch? You know, we talk about genes and trauma and life lessons. They are genetically transferred. Science has already proven it. So just think about that shit. What do you think that they're practicing and why they're practicing it? Think about that shit. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping. Get it, y'all.